a lot of the times it's like, like the girls, this is why, like, also, like, I do my night and have that half and half lineup to, like, normalize the attraction to trans women is because, something that was happening a lot last year that was really hard to hear is there was a lot of Black trans women being murdered, and a lot of them were either from lovers or from, you know, working relationships, but,
Yeah.
like, a lot of these guys couldn't deal with their shame of
Yeah.
their attraction to trans women, and that's how it manifested.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm so grateful to have this conversation because I did not realize. And so you're saying that that's illegal to use that defense in, or it's not a usable, an admissible defense in only 3 out of
Yeah,
50 states? Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
there's like, a lot of states that you can still like, specifically, I know for sure in the Bible Belt, that you can use that, like, "Oh, I freaked out and murdered this person because I didn't know they were transgender," and that's, like, almost like
Absurd.
a temporary insanity sort of, like, excuse.
That's absolutely absurd. I have plans to live till 120. I think 80 years is enough time to also look at that law. I'm trying to change so many laws right now. But I'm like, that's just so ridiculous. But 80
Yeah,
years is a good amount of time to try to get all that work done. Shit. I hate to hear that. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's why, my friend ended up getting, released from the strip club that she was working at, and, there's no hard feelings or, like, she was saying that, like, a lot of the girls sort of, knew and didn't care, because it was a full nude space, but she didn't have to go full nude, um, you know, but it was just, I think, legitimately that because this was, like, also before California, because it was only recently that California, made that, illegal to use as a defense, but,
Oh, I see. Oh, I
yeah,
see. Interesting. Okay.
yeah,
So those 3 states are, like, definitely on the forefront, and it's kind of a new thing that they looked at.
yeah, yeah, and
Unreal.
but
Geez, is this
yeah.
1920 or is this 2020? What the F, man? I feel like
Oh
I
god.
went backwards sometimes.
I think we did go a little backwards, whatever experiments they did with the, like, with that, like, black hole device that they have out there, they surely fucked something up.
Yeah, something weird's going on. Wow. Well, that was definitely a really interesting piece of information that I think our audience will really appreciate. I had no idea that it even existed. So
Yeah.
incredible share. Yeah. Um, are you ready for our next segment to move into stripper tips?
Um, yeah, I mean, right before we do that though, I just,
Did
now
you
I wanna, like, call in your audience and just be like, so, you know, now if you ever, like, see someone who is trans and, you know, out and about, just, you know, give them a smile, like, give us a break from that anxiety, don't add to it. And don't add to the, like, hardships that, other people are already enduring. I mean, it's so true what that whole saying is about, like,
Mhm.
you never know what someone else's struggle is. Like,
Yeah.
just you don't you also don't have to add to it either. So,
Yeah, actually, you bring up a really good point. Can you educate people on like what, like for me personally, and I'm also learning. So,
yeah.
when I see someone who I believe is trans, just
Mhm,
based on visual,
mhm,
I'm like in so much awe. Like I just think trans people are some of the most beautiful people I've ever seen, like visually, and also like there's something about their aura um
mhm.
that I just, it's like I can feel it. I can't explain it. And I remember I know in India, trans people used to be worshipped. There was like a
Yeah,
god or goddess or I don't know what exactly it would be called that was like looked at as someone who had both strengths, and
mhm.
therefore they were more worshipped and on a pedestal, and that like I feel similarly, but I also don't want to be like, because I feel
Yeah.
like in doing that, I'm fetishizing them. So,
Mhm.
what can you speak on about like behavior of like how someone's introduced to or sees a trans
Yeah.
person, how to be or not be?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're ever unsure, when it comes to like a face-to-face meeting, just be like, "What are your pronouns?"
Mm,
Or even refer to the person by their name the whole time, because that's super affirming too. And also, like, the biggest thing too is if you ever get corrected on someone's pronouns, just don't say I'm sorry, just say thank you. Like, because whenever someone says I'm sorry, it's like immediately put back on like the trans person that you're talking to, that to be like, oh god, now I have to make them like feel better, you know
yeah, totally.
with that situation, just say thank you and then move forward with that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Okay. Thank you
yeah.
for that.
Want to be fabulous just like these strippers? Pay attention. It's stripper tips.
So my stripper tip for the audience is find any moment throughout your day to find your version of sexy.
Mm,
Because just like, how a stripper has to do it within a song, you should find that for yourself and celebrate that within yourself and not for other people. Just like a
yeah.
stripper that's on stage.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I Those are some of my favorite sets where I'm like ignoring everyone in the room and I'm like, I'm just gonna do me up here.
I'm gonna vibe out to the song. I'm feeling
Yeah,
it, you know.
yeah,
That's yeah.
100%. I love that. That's beautiful.
Get ready for our rapid fire question round. It's time for 4 for 1.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. What's the craziest thing a fan or customer has ever said to you?
Oh god. Um, will you be my wife?
That's cute. All
I
right.
was like,
Yeah. That's a lot of commitment. Not doing that. What actor would play you in the movie of your life?
oh god. I would hope Marion Cotillard. She
Okay.
did Amelie and like yeah, I
Hot.
love her. Yeah.
Okay. You have to send me that. I have to look that one up. I want to know who you're talking about. I'm sure other people who are more hip to pop culture know exactly what you're talking about. I'm like old. Speaking of old, what old person things do you do?
What old person things do I do? Oh god. I don't know. Pass.
Do you pull your pants up high? Do you go to bed early? Do you floss your teeth?
What old person? I was like, what sayings? I don't know any sayings. I mean, no, I
You don't.
let's
You're
see.
not an old person. You don't do any old person names. You got it. Last question.
Oh, actually, I do. I
What?
always double check my locks.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. Very responsible of you. Very responsible. Last question. Do you think cats can be trained? And if so, what would you like to train a cat to do?
oh my god, yes, cats can be trained, and I would love to train my cat to use the toilet.
Oh, yes. Me too.
Because
No
then it
more
would be
litter
so
box.
perfect. No more litter box. The cat just goes in the toilet and flushes it
Have
themselves.
you ever seen the picture of the cat on the toilet for the
I I've seen videos of cats using the toilets on themselves by themselves and flushing it. So I'm like, I
No
know.
way, they flushed it too?
Yes.
That's nuts. I know my cats like go to the toilet all the time and they drink out of it, and I have to put the lid down so they don't drink out of it because I think that's kind of weird. But
Mhm.
I bet we could teach Paul Miller, that's my cat's name,
Oh my
how to
god.
how to go to the bathroom in the toilet.
You we that needs to happen.
I know.
It'll take all the treats, but it'll happen.
Yeah, don't say treats too loud. This one right here will think that you're giving her some. Um, This has been amazing. How fun. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for doing this with us.
Thanks for having me. I mean, it was
Yeah,
honestly a nice little break away from fucking
I know.
all this stuff.
I
So
know.
thank you for that.
Will you tell everyone how they can follow you and find out more information about your show and all those things?
Yeah. So everyone can find me. I'm Ethical Drugs on Instagram. Um, and instead of a U, it's a V. Um, and then you can follow my show, Other Woman. And it's spelled OTHERWOMXN,
Okay.
for Other Women. So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Um,
And I'm guessing you don't have any shows scheduled right now.
Not right now. I mean,
Okay.
hopefully by the time we come, when we, as the world turns, as they say.
Yeah. These are the days of our lives.
Ah, yes. Oh
Yes.
God.
What a great ending. Thank you so much, Daphne, and to all of you out there, thank you so much for tuning in and listening and or watching. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Wednesday as usual. Bye.
Yeah.
If you
Bye.
have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at yesastripperpodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at yesastripperpodcast. And you can catch the show on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, anywhere that you can find podcasts. We hope you tune in next week. I've been your host, A.M. Davies. See you soon.